Early morning impromptu live stream I'm doing today. Hit the like button. Let me know where you're tapping in from. Subscribe to the channel. This is something different that I'm going to be implementing into the channel. A series of early morning episodes, if you will, about an hour or less. I don't want them to be too long. Where I do a quick analysis on the state of trucking in my market and other surrounding areas, as well as other topics, maybe not directly related to trucking, but still pertaining to the industry in some way, shape, or form. But I want to have a little fun with these, that's for sure. As I stated, I'm going to do a series of episodes, this being episode 1, just short early morning live streams. So right now, if you in the chat, and I'm looking at the load board at the same time, but if you in the chat, let me know that my sound good, because one, I'm using a different mic. And then let me know where you guys tapping in from. I got 5 people in here. Is my sound? Thank you. Great Polo. For what? What you want me to drop the link for? What you want to talk about? Is my sound good? Appreciate you, Paulie. Appreciate that. Okay. Yeah, because this is a different mic, so I wasn't 100%. Great Polo, what you want to talk about? I'm 2 minutes into the live, 3 minutes into the live right now. What you need me to drop the link for? What you want to talk about? So bad, because I got some stuff I want to go over today. So what's happening though? What you want to? I appreciate you tapping in, STL in the building. But what you want to? What you need me to drop the link for, Great Polo? You want to talk about peak season? So my sound good. I think we good to go. See, no, I'm not bringing you up here to talk trash. Not this early. We could do that on the later live streams. We could talk crazy on the later. We have a morning coffee. You know, we ain't talking trash yet. I'm barely woke. I got up late today. I've been working hard. So yeah, I got up late today. But we ain't talking crazy. I know you good at that, Great Polo. We not talking crazy before 2 p.m. We can't do that. Not over here. Oh, man. So what do y'all... I was waiting on somebody to say that, because I was like, yeah, it's morning coffee, but it was 12:15. So I figured somebody, especially like Great Polo, will point that out. But in other areas, it's even later. But I plan to do this at maybe 11 a.m. But just the time it takes to set some of this stuff up, you know, it runs a little long. So, and I did it last minute. But without further ado, I mean, I know it's the hot topic in the space right now. So, I mean, what do you guys think that is? I'm sure, what everybody's talking about, the big buzz and so forth. So, what do you guys think that I came to talk about today? What do you think the hot topic of discussion is right now? Well, long story short, what I want to touch on today is peak season as it pertains to Amazon Relay, Walmart, different gig apps, and so forth. Just what I've seen over this maybe last 2.5 to 3 weeks. And yeah, I know it's a hot topic on, everybody's discussion board, you know, what's really going on with peak season. And I mean, we all know that every area is going to be different. The areas that I normally cover are areas that I'm normally paying attention to, which, as I stated, is the Chicagoland area, surrounding areas, Iowa, Indiana, Michigan, and so forth. So I can't speak for what's going on in every market. And I can't and don't have the time to pay attention to and track what the rates are in a bunch of different markets. 4 or 5 is usually what I'm able to kind of keep track of. And then I kind of also tune in to some of the other individuals that create content and just kind of see what they're seeing in their markets. And another thing I'll say, markets that during this season you aren't seeing an increase in volume, an increase in rates, most of the time, these are markets that have repeated that same scenario year after year, even 3 or 4 years ago. It's markets that just aren't great for Amazon or other gig apps and so forth. A lot of these gig apps, as I've talked about in the past, are area or market specific. So what may be a hot app here that individuals use to commonly pull freight from, and South Carolina, it may not be profitable. They may not even onboard carriers at all. So it's just a big difference in the different markets pertaining to what you are going to see volume wise, as well as cost per mile wise or rate per mile wise. Sorry. So the first thing that I want to talk about today is a big topic of discussion. What is everybody making or grossing on average per week? What can you gross in a truck here in my market, and as I stated, surrounding markets, in a box truck, one box truck per week? I know that's a big question. So today I kind of want to touch on that and other topics as well. In my opinion, right now, in a box truck, and I'm talking newer individuals as well as more experienced individuals, on average, with one truck and this market, you can easily make right now, the last 2.5 weeks, between 4 and 6,000 a week. You got individuals that's making more than that. It's individuals right now making in upwards of 6,000 per week. But I'm just talking realistically. That's why I said on average. You got individuals that's already cleared 6,500 in a week in the last couple weeks. But I'm saying on average, a newer person should be able to easily make 4,000 a week right now. A more experienced individual, 5,500 to 6,000 right now in this market. And I'm not talking about just with Amazon Relay. The gig apps, from what I've seen in the last 2.5 weeks, have had an abundance of lows. Curry, Mothership. Now you got to pick, what you do or don't want to run. But the opportunities have been there. I've been seeing them. Other individuals have been seeing them. They're there. So anybody telling you that they're not able to make money right now with the rates and the volume in this particular market, there are other extenuating, it's other circumstances that's causing these individuals not to make money, whatever that may be. And I'm not going to speculate, but I'm looking at lows right now. Where they gone now? But it was just 3 lows on here right now that were picking up at like 1 p.m. Central Time. And they have been sitting there for a period of time. I'm just looking at them. That's what I was doing when the stream first started, because it was 3, one going to Davenport. I think I saw East Moline and something else. They were just on here. So somebody just booked 3 runs to pick up at 1 p.m. We also looking at lows that right now are picking up at 8 p.m. and then 10 p.m. and then 11 and so forth throughout the night. And right now, we all know the last few months prior to 3 weeks ago, the average going rate on the spot relay load board was about $2.30 per mile. And we saw a lot of rates that were a lot less than that. Right now, these lows are hitting the board at above $3 per mile. And I'm talking like right now in real time, not the last week or 2 weeks. I've seen some crazy rates that, they reminded me of a lot of what I saw, 2 and 3 years ago. In my opinion, peak season has already exceeded expectations. I didn't expect to see what I saw the last 2 weeks. And it's all depending on you, how you run your truck, what your performance score is with Amazon, what your relationship is with different brokers and these different gig apps. But everybody has their own set of circumstances, that determine what they can or cannot make. But as I stated, individuals are easily able to make between 4 and 6 grand per week. And I know people are going to say, well, how are they making that? Well, not only are we seeing loads between 6 and 900, at night that you could run between, it take you 4 to 6 hours. But we're also seeing early morning lows. This morning, Amazon called me, I believe it was like 5:17 a.m. or somewhere around that time frame. And they had loads that they were unable to move on a Thursday night and a Friday morning, when usually the trucks are still out, individuals are still running. Amazon still had loads that they were unable to move. It's been over a year. I want to say 2 years since I seen the 866 number pop up. When I saw it, I was literally shocked. Like, Amazon's calling individuals for loads right now. And anybody that knows from the past, when Amazon calls you for a load, the ball is in your court. You know, they'll pay whatever is needed. And as I stated, we're approaching 6 a.m. when they called me. And I didn't even answer the call because I wasn't, in a position where I was ready to run. But yeah, they're calling carriers. They're willing to negotiate. And usually when they call me, it's no less than $700-800 that, I'm gonna pick up for whatever particular run. And yeah, they had 2 or 3 runs after 6 a.m. that they were unable to move for whatever reason. And I'm thinking that I know it's somebody in the area that's, available, but people running hard right now. And at some point you have to rest. You got to take a break. I see individuals as, 2 people in a truck, they doubling up on everybody's doing what they got to do right now to make the most of the opportunities at hand. But if you have a bad performance score, something just popped up. At 130. Yeah, if you have a bad performance score, or like I said, not the best relationship with brokers or on these gig apps, they track all of this, and all of these gig apps are cracking down. Curry has implemented different disciplinary actions for different instances and occurrences. And yeah, they have violations included in that app right now. And a lot of these apps are kind of following suit to what Amazon has done, over the course of the last year or two, where they're getting stricter on the rules in order to run their freight. Amazon is now suspending you 7 days before your insurance expires. So for people that want to wait to the last minute to renew their insurance, within the last 7 to 14 days, you are more likely to be suspended now, because if you haven't went through the initial steps to input your information into the Relay app on your upcoming commercial insurance policy, within 7 days, you'll be suspended. They're not waiting to 24 to 48 hours before that policy expires. This is stuff that I questioned in the past secretly and never said nothing, because I didn't want them to, stricken or tighten the rules. But I'm like, why would you give somebody freight within 24 hours of the time that their commercial insurance policy expires? So you're going to give me a load at 8 p.m. and my commercial insurance policy expires at 12 a.m. By the time I load that freight and get moving, I'm now running illegally with no commercial insurance pertaining to liability if I destroy something out on the road or, damage the freight. So it's taking some time, but Amazon has slowly but surely covered a lot of the different things that I'm looking at. Like a year and a half ago, none of this makes no sense. But I never brought this stuff to the space because I'm like, I don't know who's watching what. So certain things I do not say, and I just let them pick up on it on their own later on. But I've always wondered why they would give you a load within 48 hours of your insurance expiring. Now that's not the case. So within 7 days, you're suspended. And then you need to get on. They have calls pertaining to insurance, which they do on a weekly basis, I believe, similar to the carrier calls they used to do. And you need to get on those calls and get in contact with one of the Amazon higher ups in order to get back active, and your Relay load board access. Do you know how I can get in contact with Amazon Relay over the phone? I've been trying to contact them so I can't sign up. I don't know if you could contact Amazon over the phone, especially if you're not already onboarded with them. I believe all of their communications are going to be via email. So if you signed up, usually the way you communicate with Amazon will be back and forth via email. And I'm not even 100%. Just to be honest, it's been so long ago that I signed up with Amazon. I'm not even 100% on exactly how that process goes now, because you used to just apply and within a week or so you'd be onboarded. That process now is taking a way longer period of time, and some people end up just never being onboarded from what I've heard from different individuals. So yeah, I don't think it's any way that you could just outright call Amazon. But yeah, as I was stating, the opportunities right now, yeah, they've been abundant, and I'm kind of sensing that this will at least carry on another week. I'm just looking at this stuff week by week. I'm not trying to go way. I already know what to expect January, February into March, but the next few weeks, I just kind of look at this on a week by week basis, because this is something else that I'm going to touch on. Like, when you really try to just directly go off statistics and history, or what usually happen, especially right now in today's age, even when you look at the stock market and inflation and the interest rates and different things of that nature, nowadays nothing goes as planned. This has been my experiences. The stock market is supposed to do one thing, it does something totally different. Even though in this situation a year ago, 2 years ago, it did this with these same set of circumstances. But this year you had the same, once again, set of circumstances, but a whole different outcome. So the individuals that went off of the statistics and what happened in history and what's supposed to happen because this happened and that's what usually happened, ended up being wrong. And a lot of people ended up losing a lot of money due to different things the individual put out, due to statistics and different things that they were going off of, because this is what usually occur or is supposed to happen. So me, I take this on a week by week basis, because it's a lot of different things that's occurring right now that did not occur last year or in the previous years. One thing I talked about in a video I did a week or two ago, where I kind of shortly touched on, what I thought was going to happen before the lows actually started to rise. And yeah, I just said this, that you cannot determine, by history what's going to occur with a lot of, these rates and so forth. And we're seeing that right now. The last 2 weeks, a lot of, myself included, because I knew volume was going to go up. I knew rates were going to rise. I didn't know to what extent, especially when it pertained to DSP. And like I said, myself, I'm shocked at, what's occurred. So I just look at this stuff on a week by week basis. But the way individuals are able to make in upwards of 5,500, 6,000, more experienced individuals, I see a lot of new people. a lot of new people running relay and just in these trucks in general. So it's going to be a learning curve. Some individuals aren't going to be able to make 5,000-6,000 a week. And then if they do, and then if they do, it's not going to be as profitable as an individual that's more experienced. But I see a lot of people in trucks right now, and they're making money that they've never seen before. So the opportunities are out here. You just gotta do the work to kind of utilize and make the most of those, because as I stated, once we get into January, February, March, we're gonna be playing a whole different ball game. So now is not the time to be lazy, to overlook opportunities or put stuff off for later, because eventually, if you thought it was rough a couple months ago, then a couple months from now, you're going to see a whole lot more of the same. It's a lot of individuals, because I talk to people here and there more over like the phone than in person, but it's individuals that have already made between 10 and 20,000 in one truck. However they've done it, like I said, it's people that are running 2 drivers. So that truck is constantly running. When one driver go off, it's another driver coming on. I know somebody that's doing that right now. And it's individuals that's made between 10 and 20,000 already with one truck. It's all in how you are running it and what your plan was to move, the truck and utilize, because you don't want to be just dependent on Amazon, which Amazon looking pretty good right now. And not just in this area. I've seen other individuals that make content in other markets that are seeing a whole lot of the same. The markets where individuals are not seeing an increase in rates or volume are markets that are notoriously known for being horrible markets when it's concerning Amazon's freight and so forth. So that's something I don't understand as well. Individuals will make statements like, oh, the rates are just like that up there, or things of that nature. And I don't get that, because if the rates are, if the rates are substantially higher in a different market, and you aren't seeing those type of opportunities in your market, then why are you still there? Especially at a time that we know that is crucial to a lot of trucking companies. I would think if I would continue to operate a trucking company, then I would move my truck into areas where the loads are abundant and the rates are higher. That's just my thought process. Or not run a trucking company, especially at this time of year, at this point in the game. So I see a lot of that, and I hear a lot of that, where people kind of put a cap or a ceiling on what they're able to make. And they have a trucking company with a motor carrier authority where they're able to move into whatever area that they see fit. But yet they just accept the rates that are in whatever market that they're in and, deal with it. So that's something that I don't understand. And me personally, if I was in a market where the rates were subpar, then I would move into a different market, either regionally or just go OTR. It's a couple tanks of gas usually to get you into a better area where the loads are more profitable and abundant. So but I see that a whole lot where people say, well, this is just like that up there. And I don't get that mindset at all. G Frank, say you just landed at O'Hare, picking up your 4th box truck. Congratulations. Congratulations. So where you fly in from? Yeah, where you fly in from? But yeah, I think individuals just need to make the most of the opportunities at hand right now while they're here, because they not gonna be here forever. Oh, you from the D? Okay. Oh, that was a short trip. That probably was what, like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, maybe, if that. But yeah, congratulations though. I know that's like a big 4 trucks. So yeah, you kind of you up there right now. So you kind of ready to really play ball. 4 trucks is a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, once again, you know, especially right now, if you got 4 trucks, it's a lot of money to be made. You just got to kind of, place yourself in hour and a half. Yeah, that was decent. Yeah, that was decent. Yeah. But yeah, man, and that's another thing. The trucks right now are cheaper. You could get a decent truck. I talked about this, between $25,000 and $30,000. So imagine if a few months ago you bought a truck for 25 or $30,000, and then right now you able to make 5,000 a week. You are easily able to recoup the money you put into that investment, even if you finance that truck. In the next 3 months, you could have recouped what you paid. So anybody that's, not seeing the opportunities, like I said, it's other circumstances as to why, be it performance issues. We know that plagues a lot of individuals with Amazon. And then your dealings and relationships with brokers, that's a big thing as well. And as I stated, the gig apps are cracking down. They monitoring, the motion on these apps. If you're moving directly to the delivery, if you stopped or stalled for whatever reason, and so forth. So you see a lot of this now. Mothership, Curry, both have implemented different features into the app that are monitoring what owner operators are doing while they're hauling their freight. From the time you take the load, if you take a load with Curry, not dedicated, but just off their spot app, and you don't move to the load location within 15 to 30 minutes, you get a violation. And you get 3 of those within 3 months, and I believe they ban you. That's what I read. And don't quote me exactly, but it's something similar to that. You get 3 occurrences within like 3 months, and then it's disciplinary. And I know at some point they banned the carrier from the app. So That's new within the last 30 days that Curry has implemented. Mothership just implemented something in the last 2 weeks, maybe, where, they're also monitoring different actions within their app. So you got to be careful. And I think that's what some people don't talk about. They got a bad performance score or just don't have relationships with different brokers and so forth. I'm going to just put something out here, just being 100% honest. Since I've had a box truck, and I don't do a whole bunch of complaining, I do okay. Since I've had a box truck, I have yet to utilize the DAT load board. Most of the people watching this live stream right now have access to the DAT load board alongside Amazon and different gig apps and other opportunities for freight. How am I not using the DAT load board? And I'm okay. That's a whole nother world of opportunity and loads for individuals to haul freight. And as I stated, I think 90% of the individuals in box trucks have DAT load board. I had DAT when I was in a Sprinter. That's why I got rid of it, because the opportunities on there weren't abundant for cargo vans. As I've been in a box truck, I've never utilized DAT for loads. And I'm okay. But you got individuals with a whole load board that I've never used to move my truck, and they swear that it's no opportunities for individuals to make money hauling freight. So can somebody please explain how this is possible? And I know it's opportunities on DAT because I often talk to individuals that do utilize though, and they tell me, bro, you need to get this load board. I'm telling you, it's local and regional opportunities. And most of the brokers, just being 100% honest with you, on those load boards, I'm already signed up with. I signed up with them along CH, all of them I'm already signed up with. All I got to do is send them a new certificate of insurance, and I can start running with all of those different carriers that people, TQL, I've talked to TQL. I've never ran a load with them, but I've talked to TQL about getting on their load board, never utilized their load board. So people got TQL, people got DAT, people got Amazon Relay, people got Curry, people got Mothership. How you don't see no loads for the people that tell you that there are no opportunities for box trucks right now are people that are not in trucks. People that tell you that the rates are not high, that the loads are not abundant right now, they are not in trucks. Because the people that are in trucks are making $4,000 to $6,000 a week, every single week. The last 3 weeks, as I stated, and I stand on this, if I got to bring somebody to show proof, because I show proof of everything that I talk about on here. I don't just get up here and say stuff. I bag up everything, even every load that I run, I bag it up with a screenshot to show you it ain't cap. I know individuals that already cleared 15. What are you doing? Stop listening to people and get to work. See, you keep sitting here looking for that golden ticket for somebody to give you for you to win when you could have already been winning if you would just get in the truck and go. People want to win from the crib. Ain't no money there. It's not no money at your crib, on your block, in your little radius that you live in. Ain't no money there. You gotta go. But you sit here on the internet talking about, yeah, they right, it ain't no money. Yeah, they right, it wasn't no peak season. Like I don't get it, man. I don't get it. So that's what I'm saying. And then people, in other areas, just looking at opportunities in other markets. Well, what did you get a motor carrier authority for? And I'm not being sarcastic, or being an a-hole. What I'm saying is you got a motor carrier authority because you need to move your truck where the money is. You need to be able to move your truck out of your market into other markets where the opportunities are abundant and the rates are high. Why are you not doing that? Orcas, sharks, and whales, they migrate, they move to where the herring, the sardine, and the seals are abundant. They don't sit over here talking about, yeah, it sure is a lot of fish over there. Hungry. Talking about it's fish over there. And I use these analogies often to just try to open people's eyes to see you're not going to catch in nature, things. Yeah, it is. I'm hungry as hell, but it's a lot of fish over there. It is. Yeah, it is. And we just going to keep sitting here. You don't see that. Only humans do things like that. Look at opportunities, to feed their employees and move their trucks, and they just sitting and just talking about them. We could be there, but I'm just gonna stay here, hungry as hell. Like, somebody make this make sense to me. I'm looking at an opportunity right here. You see that? Right there, right now, you go get it right there. So this is what I'm saying. This is what's popping up all day long. And you have individuals saying that, there are no opportunities. They cannot find, any ways to move trucks and so forth. And one thing I just say, is if you cannot move your truck right now, if you are unable to make money right now, you probably won't be able to do it at all in general in any other points of the year, because this is peak season. Individuals start trucking companies for this time of the year. So if you're going to sit back and say, well, history said this and the market normally and all of the, instead of, like I said, getting out and doing the work, you really just wasting your time. And I'm not here to beat anybody up, talk down on nobody or anything like that. But what I see is individuals not wanting to do what it takes to be profitable and successful with their trucking company, but are adamant about maintaining and continuing to run a trucking company. That's what's just baffling me. Like, you own the fence because you don't want to go get the money, but you don't want to go get a job. Like, you have to at some point make a decision, especially, like I said, at this time of the year where it's opportunities out there. People don't want to move more than 100 to 200 miles out of their general area in order to, like I said, take advantage of different opportunities. So you got to do what's needed. You have to go where you guys need to go in order to be profitable. G. Frank said, I would choose Amazon Relay all day long. Right now, Amazon Relay, you could just run that. If your score's decent, above probably like a 93%. And I know somebody with no score that was seeing lows the other night. Like I said, right now, Amazon's calling people. So with Amazon calling people, they're pretty much telling you they're willing to negotiate one way or another. And the ball is in your court. When I negotiate with Amazon, I don't lose. I usually, and you should be able to get between $700 and $1,000 for whatever load they're calling you for. So that's something that individuals need to think about. But yeah, Amazon right now is who you. Great Polo, come on, man. We handling business right now. Who I'm talking about what? We reached this point in every live stream where you asking me who I'm talking about. Pertaining to what? Who is they? Man, get out of here, man. Yeah, we reached this point in every live stream. Who I'm talking about what? I'm talking about people in general that see opportunities and feel like, you know, they're out of their reach when you have an authority. That's who I'm talking about. And they still popping up. So yeah, man, you just got to do what's, you know, best for you. People, you know, if you don't want to put in the work, then hey, I don't know what to tell you. Why I don't never see you asking nobody else who they talk about, Great Polo? Because I watch different live streams and people say different things. I never see you in their comments asking them who you talking about. When people make references to other individuals, why don't you ask them who they talking about? Like, I ain't seen that one time. This is, well, other certain people you go to and you say, well, who you talk about this? Or, why I never see you do that in other people's chat, Great Polo? What's up with that? You know who I'm talking about too, though. And honestly, it's nobody specifically. Like, I don't know, you know, who you have on your mind, but me, when I'm talking in general about different mindsets that individuals have that put ceilings or caps on how successful they could be. It's not about one person in general. It ain't been a whole bunch said about peak season. In my opinion, I've been the main person that's been updating on this and consistently, whether it be through a video or through posts or through my shorts. But I've been constantly on top of what's occurring and 100% honest, not fabricating or exaggerating anything. If I was seeing the majority of loads at $2.77 per mile, I would come up here and I would say that. That's what I would post. The majority of the loads that I'm seeing as they are being booked are in excess of $3 per mile. If you wait a little bit, after certain people get out the way, because certain people, and I understand it, got multiple trucks. So they just want to have loads for their multiple trucks. This is where the guys with less trucks win. Because if you let them get out of the way and fill their trucks up, then later on, them same runs with the same stops that those trucks are running, you can book and go to the same post offices and see their drivers and make 200 and 300 more than the individuals that are booking the loads at cheaper rates, maybe $2.50, $2.75 per mile, $3. 2-3 hours later, those same runs come back up at $4 per mile, $5 per mile, and so forth. So you got to understand how this works. You'll see the same run come up 3 different times, and that's 3 different carriers that booked it at 3 different rates. People got to understand how this stuff works. So an amateur will see a load and say, oh, okay, $289 a mile. I'm going to book that. And then after they book it, it'll be in their trips, and they'll see that same load come back up at $389 per mile. Well, they already booked it at a cheaper rate. It'll sit there, and then it may increase. Somebody will book it. An hour later, that same load will come up again at an even higher rate. And oftentimes, the later you pick up, the less freight there is. So people book it at a higher rate with less freight on their truck. So they're using less fuel and getting a higher rate per mile. See, people don't understand. The last guy to pick up running around with 5 skids total for 4 stops. And the first guy got a full truckload and 18 boxes. This is what they don't tell you. They can't tell you because they don't know. So this is what I'm talking about when, people say, well, you have to understand how different things work in order for you to see certain rates. Everybody don't eat the same, even when they in the same market. You loading right next to a guy that's running for $2 more per mile than you right now. Y'all probably, like I said, going to the same set of post offices. It's all in what you determine that you will or will not run your trucks for. That's how this works. So you got to understand that, when you out here. And yeah, it's this same load been sitting here for, so see, everybody tired. Everybody wore out because, you could pretty much run, your truck 24 hours a day if you could do it legally with the right amount of drivers. And most people were smart enough to beforehand have an extra driver or 2 on hand. That way, when one person run out of time, boom. And, the truck could keep moving. So if you running your truck right now like that, $5,500 to $7,000 a week in this market and surrounding areas is what you can see right now. Now, a week from now, I don't know what that may be. It may be $3,000 per week. But as I stated, I only come up here and give you information off what I'm directly seeing on a regular basis, not talking about 1 or 2 loads that came up for $900. And then I come up here and act like that's what I'm. No, if I'm posting loads for 7, 8, and 9, that's because I'm regularly seeing that over and over and over again, to where I start to screenshot it and say, okay, this is what I'm regularly seeing coming up on the spot load board or on these gig apps or so forth. So, you just got to stay informed with all of this. Yeah, you don't need trailer insurance for a 26-foot box truck. And you, depending on your state, should not need workman's comp. That's in Illinois, you don't need workman's comp with Amazon Relay. And you can't have trailer insurance because you don't have a trailer. So yeah, that's tricky because I don't know. That's a tricky one there because like you say, you're not able to talk to anybody. You probably have to just keep sending emails for real. Like, yeah, you're gonna have to probably keep sending emails. Yeah. Yeah, that's tricky, man. And people run into different problems like that. Let me see. No, that's a different. Okay, okay. You don't need trailer insurance for a box car. So it's somebody that you need to talk to. And yeah, I understand the struggle because everything with Amazon is online or via email. And I don't even know if some of that stuff is now automated. Because if you look at the Relay app, a lot of what we see and a lot of what Amazon is, putting out, they've automated and have AI involved in a lot of stuff. So I don't know if maybe it could be an automated process that may be kicking you right back out. And I know they could be kind of stern with, whether, they let you in or not. So yeah, I don't know how. I think you just probably will have to keep emailing them because without you being onboarded, yeah, it's nobody that you could talk to directly. But you don't need trailer insurance, and yeah, you shouldn't need workman's comp, depending on what state you're running out of. No, I don't. What you talking about? Lit the fire under your butt for this lie. So who is that person? Man, look, I don't need no fire lit up under me to to turn y'all up, man. I just have to find the time. Like, it don't. And my whole thing is, it ain't like I say. To me, it's just the information. It's not. You know, I don't know. And I ain't gonna get into all of that. But this space is just different. You know. So it is what it is. But everything that I create, every topic that I touch on, does not pertain to another individual. And I think that people kind of center stuff around the same individuals, which be crazy to me because when I make and create content, it's for my subscribers and to keep them informed on what's actually occurring on a day-to-day basis. And the real, the people that been rocking with me for a long time, kind of like they understand all of that. It's and Great Polo, he joke around, he act crazy, but he understand that too. So, people try to stir up different. Man, I don't think about people when I make this content. I try to give people the honest information from my perspective because that's what people look to the channel for. I don't, all of the constant bickering back and forth about when in general the space is small in the first place. And then you get individuals that are discouraged from I see that too. People don't even want to make content because it's always a back and forth. So I guess that's the object to, monopolize in order to, advance. I don't see things in that manner. I'm able to share the platform with other individuals, so they could bring, their perspective as well. It is not all about me. And, I don't have the time to constantly be on the platform. So I actually appreciate when other people bring their viewpoints, because I understand people want to constantly be updated and oftentimes not from the same individuals. So with that being said, that's the avenue that I try to go down. All the going back and forth, bickering back and forth, and so forth. Yeah, it's nonsense. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at, when it pertains to peak season. It's 12 people in here. I got 5 likes. Hit the like button for me if you ain't already done so. And yeah, I'm gonna be doing a few of these on a regular basis to kind of just touch bases with you guys, you know, earlier in the day. Because oftentimes I tend to go live late and I've seen a bigger turnout. So, like I said, if you hear, appreciate that. Hit the like button. People will contact me, people will leave different comments wanting me to go live. Well, when I go live, support the stream. That way we push it out. That way I see the engagement and I see the reason why, I need to do more of these on a regular basis because I go off of the engagement. I've said that on multiple different occasions. I don't want to get up here and just be rambling and talking if, the information is not valuable and, pretty much having some sort of benefit to individuals that are consuming it. That's why I do it. But yeah, like I say, certain people and you have people in the space that, they look for entertainment, which in my videos, I do, do certain things to kind of keep it entertaining. But everything I put out in some way, shape, or form is in order to educate. Any video I've ever dropped is something in there if you actually watch it from beginning to end. A lot of people watch 3, 4, 5 minutes of a video and they click off it. So they miss a lot of and good content creators begin to put the gist of what they want individuals to get further into the videos because we understand that people don't watch. So if you come and you don't watch the whole video, then you won't get the gist of every video I put something educational in there for individuals to utilize and implement into their trucking companies in order to be successful. I don't get up here for financial gain. I don't get up here for clout. I don't get up here because, I have nothing else to do and I don't live stream for fun. I have to push myself to do these. And I aspire to do a lot more. But as I stated, the engagement has to be there. But with that being said, yeah, right now, like I said, 4 to 6 grand a week. The opportunities are abundant across most of the gig apps that I'm looking at. A lot of individuals, have already ran up between 10 and 20,000, in the last few weeks. So it's possible. You just gotta be willing to move your truck to where the rates are higher and, the volume has increased because the money is there. The opportunities are there. So you can believe what you want, but yeah, I've seen it from other individuals and other markets as well. You just gotta do the work. And I think a lot of individuals, they don't want to move around. They want to be, and they still, $800. It's only $2 a mile, but even right now, it's stuff coming up 800, 900, for 8, 9 p.m. that you could be done with by like, 2 a.m. Because see, a lot of these post offices right now are open 24 hours. They're staffed and they have workers there. You do have to be careful. I talked about this in the video as well, but a lot of these, postal workers are on edge right now due to, just the heightened volume. And sometimes they think they've gotten everything. I see this, they already got 15 skids. They think that's it. You show up with 2, 3 more, it's early in the morning. There's a lot of opportunities for things to go wrong. So that's something else I, be mindful of when you enter into these different postal facilities, just try to be patient with these people because, they're under a lot of the same stresses that we're under. And the same way Amazon makes rules for us, they also make rules for them. So it's kind of like a back and forth struggle. And then they have certain sets of circumstances and different things they want you to do to make their job, easier. And you're looking at what's in the scope of the duties that you're supposed to be performing. So, it kind of is like a back and forth struggle. And I see it every year. But just be patient with them. If you run into issues, report them. And I'm touching on this because it easily occurs. One small misunderstanding and then now it's an issue. And sometimes it's little or nothing that has actually occurred and it could still turn into an issue. So protect yourself, be patient, report issues to the app, contact ROC if needed, because all it is, like I said, you don't want to, run into issues in these postal facilities over little or nothing just because it's early in the morning and people are stressed out. So keep that in mind. Just be patient, keep a level head, try to get some rest. A lot of people are sleep deprived right now. If you're really utilizing these opportunities, you're constantly moving. It's eat, sleep, run, eat, sleep, run, eat, sleep, run. That's what you should be doing right now. In and out, in and out. Every few hours, tss, your neighbors should hear that. Tss, that's what individuals are, doing right now. So you have people that are tired, owner operators as well. You see an uptick in incidents and accidents, unfortunately, like out on the road. Here, the weather has started to change. We got like our first couple snowfalls of the year. And in the last couple of days, we've seen some of like the worst wind, that I felt in a long time. Like a couple nights ago was just crazy windy and in a bunch of different areas to the point where it was moving the truck in ways that I ain't felt the truck move before. And I remember the Sprinter van days where how the wind would blow those vans around. So I could just imagine what they went through that particular night. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of most of what I wanted to touch on today. And I don't know, I may do something later on this evening, another topic that I got a bunch of topics that, I want to touch on, but I just got to find the time with, us just moving so crazy right now. Once again, if you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. And yeah, I think I'm going to leave this here. I think I touched on everything, that I needed to, and I got to make a couple phone calls. So I'll be doing more of these. This is just episode 1, the Midwest Morning Coffee Report, where I want to take about an hour, maybe less. I thought this would have been 45 minutes or so. But yeah, I just want to take about an hour earlier in the day to kind of touch bases with you guys and just kind of give you guys an update on what's going on in my market. So with that being said, as usual, y'all stay safe out there today while y'all running this peak season freight. Stay safe out there, take it easy, and have a good one. Appreciate y'all.